Alright, there we go. Piss. I don't know if my volume sounds right. But, howdy everyone. You know what, to be fair, I should have expected this to happen on my first stream. I know! What an amazing way to start the stream. Freaking... Yeah, that sucks. I don't know why it's stuttering. Such a pain in the ass. Yeah, I know, easy. Yeah, I don't want to play too much on the stream because I feel really bad that it's stuttering like this. Like, this feels really unprofessional, I guess you could say. So I want to try and just do this level and probably call it here or something. Damn it, I want to try getting back to the intro because I wanted to show something, but I don't think I can. It was just the Chaos Easter egg. It was different, I think, or I'm not sure if I did have that Easter egg. Also, the motion blur? What? There was motion blur in this version? Also, what the hell? Wait. I thought this was an introduction. What? Was this way different in this version? I don't remember. Oh, that's right, the torches! The torches, that's right! I forgot. This is completely different in this version. Wormy, the bot, and the little nut bots as well as the torches. I completely forgot. This is way different. This is way different. Come on, Patrick. Just go and find the torches. That somehow light up when, you know, you melt a part of the ice. But this is what we meant by it being boring, because you're literally just going around making circles with the torches, and that's pretty much it. With nutbots and other things trying to stop you and become an obstacle to make it more of a pain in the ass, but that's really it. There isn't that much to it. Also, you see these guys in the finalized version sitting on the table as a little Easter egg. For those that are vigilant and see the things with their own eyes. Gonna be Dirty Dan again?
Oh, yeah.
I know, I'm fine being Patrick. Yeah, I don't blame you. Probably once I beat this, I'll show off the jump scares and all that stuff. Well, if I beat this, because I don't know if I'll just randomly get jump scared by Wormy or the nutbots or whatever. Which will completely end my run and then make this whole thing fruitless. You see, that's exactly what I mean. It was easy back then.
What?
Just level complete. There's no end result screen. And yeah, there wasn't an inside to Sandy's house in this version. This was literally just, you go in, you grab torches, you melt it, and then you're out of there. It's such an easy last level before the final level that we had to completely revamp it, make it way better, make it way harder, and that made it the intense level that you have today. Also, that chase theme, I'm pretty sure was just sock music that I just kind of messed around with in Audacity. That's basically it. And there's Wormy. Hello, Wormy. And that's it. Record a dev commentary, at least with Padre. And show all the old content. And that's it, that's all I do. And there's the old hint as well. Sucks, man. I really wanted to play through more. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Just dumb shit like that happens. The thing I don't understand, I streamed months ago, it was perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden today, when I decide to stream months later, this happens. I don't get it, but yeah. If y'all want, I could probably archive the stream, but I don't know if it's worth it. If I might as well just record all that again, you know? But yeah. Yeah, I may archive it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I probably will, honestly. 'Cause, I mean, yeah, the stutter sucked, but there was a lot of good moments in the stream, and I will honestly say, even though it was a pain in the ass to start up, and it sucked that it stuttered a bit during the stream, well, not a bit, a lot, but I still appreciate it. Everyone showing up, that was fun. It was still a fun stream. I don't need to record it or anything, because I think on Twitch you could just archive the VOD. Oh yeah, with Schopenhauer 2, I definitely am excited for both of those things. I do want to show more of the lore for Barry, and the new model and rig and animations that Padre is making for the game. It's really good, I will say. Next stream, hopefully this week, because I do want to try again, like, as soon as possible, because I want to get this functioning right. I want to get the stream actually working and looking proper, so I can, you know, do streams whenever I want to, without, you know, it being a pain in the ass to do. Because I wanted to try playing Project Zomboid on a stream, and Phantom Holes, I really wanted to start a new game and just play through the entire game, maybe, on a stream. It's a long game. It took me like 25 hours to beat, but still, that would be fun to try and stream as well. Just these random horror / kinda horror games would be fun to stream casually. Yeah, Padre knows OBS well. I could probably ask him and see if he encountered that issue. Probably gonna get Brandon to help me tomorrow and see if I can get it to work. The Barry Bible, yes. It's called the game document or whatever. It's not a game document, but it's where we have all the Barry lore stored. It has everything archived from the beginning of Barry's story to the very end that we haven't shown off. Mr. Krusty I probably could add to Dave.exe. Prowlers, maybe. I feel like that's kind of cutting too close to copyright. Not really, though. I mean, sure, you could say, oh, it's a Jellian, so it's SpongeBob, but it's a custom Jellian made by Padre. It's an original character, so I could technically add it into Dave.exe. I'm just a little bit worried, I guess. Same goes with Krusty, kind of. Rat King, obviously, I could add that, because that is a completely original character. It has nothing to do with Scooby-Doo. Yeah, Schopenhauer's first, ATC, then Strange Terror from the Deep. Schopenhauer 1, I guess, is before Schopenhauer 2. Because, you know, SNTV mentions Schopenhauer 1 every now and then during his lines. Yeah, I made that whole cliffhanger at the end of Around the Clock just because I really wanted to let people know, I guess, in a game that everyone's gonna play that, hey, you know, some of my original games exist, and I'm mostly gonna be showing off some of Barry's lore in those games because it has been planned, but I would like to show it, and I wanted to let people know that beforehand, so that way, you know, they would be prepared when I drop the update. I mean, and that's not true. Prowler and Krusty are both on thin ice. I felt like Krusty was fine. I kind of thought about it. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit worrisome. And it's basically the same thing with Prowler. A little bit concerned about copyright, but it's an original character, so maybe. Same goes to Krusty. It's kind of original to a real character, but it's also original in its own right. So, I don't know. Prowler would be kind of lame. I feel like his power wouldn't be that interesting. It would just be like Wraith. You know, he's just cloaked. I love both games, Beyond the Stars and Strange Terror from the Deep, honestly. I'm kind of tired working on From the Deep, but I really want to get this update out, so I'm going to push myself to finish these rigs. I have 22 rigs to make. I already finished 4 of them. I still need to rig and animate 22 characters. It's gonna suck. Oh, and the human characters, that's right. There's the human characters I also have to rig and animate for Strange Terror from the Deep. Also, Strange Terror Ultimate is no longer a thing. I plan on making a 3rd game, so I'm not even gonna bother making an Ultimate Edition. That will probably be like years from now, though, because I really want that one to be good. It'll be a pretty big project. It might as well just be another around the clock at that point, and I definitely want to save, you know, the 3rd one for a later date. Yeah, I know. Prowler's probably safe, and Crusty is kind of on thin ice, honestly. What is Mrs. Pup do when she finds you? She's basically just exactly like an angler, just does the same jump scare in that version. Will the 3rd game be themed of? I don't know if I want to mention, actually. Yeah, I don't want to mention it just because I'm worried people are just going to steal the idea, so I'd rather not. Because people keep guessing what the 3rd version is going to be about, and it's not at all what people are thinking. I would love to have Strange Terror from the Deep on Steam. I just don't think it's a good idea because I don't think the game's gonna sell. Like, would it be worth me spending $100 to upload a game that may or may not sell? I'd rather upload something like Dave.exe or something that I know is gonna definitely sell well, because I feel like Strange Terror from the Deep, like, as popular as it seems, sales-wise, it kind of didn't do too good, I guess, which is to be expected. I don't expect people to buy all my shit. But, you know, I'd rather wait and sell the game that I know will do at least well enough on Steam. Would like bosses to like Dave.exe? Because I thought about it, but I don't think I want to do bosses for that game. It would be kind of like quote unquote boss stages, but it wouldn't be like bosses per se. And you could say, yeah, it's easier to buy it on Steam than itch.io and GameJolt. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that. It's something I have to think about. My best game I've ever made. If we're talking like best game in terms that I liked it and consider it the best, it's kind of a hard choice because I always say, oh yeah, Beyond the Stars is my favorite. It's my favorite, but I wouldn't say it's my best work. Maybe? Question mark. I don't know what I would consider my best work. I'd probably Doomy or Dave.exe. Those 2 games I feel like are probably my best work. Yeah, no, itch.io does get lost in a sea of games, but so does Steam. Steam is overflowing with shitty games all the time, dude. Like, there are probably like 100 games that are uploaded on Steam every day. Like, my game would get completely lost in the sea of games there. And you could say the same for itch.io, of course. But, you know, there's factor that I have to pay money on Steam, and I don't know if it would do well, better, or worse, you know? There would definitely be a final encounter with Edgy Dave. Yeah. You fuckers. Ooh woo. How many berries are there? I mean, I guess you could say there are an infinite amount of berries. Yeah, Doomy's definitely in a much better state. The way I released it back in October of last year, Doomy felt like a demo compared to now, honestly. Overkill's Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, dude. That game was such a flop. I was so disappointed. It looked so good. Like, it looked so promising in the trailers, like the CGI trailers or whatever. And then the game comes out and it was abysmal. That game crashed and burned. I played FNAF I played FNAF week 7. It was really good. I loved week 7. That was probably their best week in the game, honestly. I can't wait for them to release it on itch.io. I really want to see the mods come out for that. And I also want to be able to play it on FPS Plus, because right now the input is still garbage. With Patreon stuff, I mean, I have nothing on Patreon that I could get sued for, because there's no copyrighted fan game stuff there. I only have original work like Dave.exe, Shopping Number 2, etc. I got rid of Bob the Killer and made it Rob the Killer, so I'm definitely safe. But I know people have mentioned that you technically could get away with putting a fan game on Patreon. Like, you could, probably. But I don't want to take that risk, because I really don't want to get into any sort of legal situation. Especially at my age, especially with everything. I just really don't want to deal with that right now. Barry is an enigma. I'll definitely show more of his lore in the future and his history and everything. I think Barry would probably end up being in a Friday Night Funkin' mod, because there's already a Dave mod that came out from someone on my Discord server that made it. Oh my gosh, that cosmetic for Dave.exe. I cannot wait to add that in, even though I hate it so much. That was hilarious. Yeah, ATC is copyrighted, obviously. That's why it's free on itch.io. I don't have that on Patreon. Where can you find me at? Well, like, Twitter, I guess, and YouTube and all that. I don't have a public Discord server. I just have, like, a private one. I don't really like, I guess, being too involved in communities too often. I've gotten better. I've gotten way better at playing Friday Night Funkin'. That's for sure. I've learned to use two hands, like one on A and S and one on, like, right and up. One of me can wake up Sandy. Yeah, it was like a 50% chance. I would love to see mods, though, for Friday Night Funkin' that adds in, like, Edgy Dave or something. That would be hilarious. But honestly, I appreciate all your support on Patreon. All you dudes and gals and everybody. I really do appreciate it. Like, nobody's obligated to subscribe to Patreon. Yeah, I have all these people subscribing. Honestly, I really appreciate that. It's crazy to think about having so many people supporting me. Viral Z really my first game, and Viral Z was definitely not my first game. That was my first 3D game that I made in 2016. My first game was actually way back in 2013, if you want to say Game Maker Lite was when I started making games, because I used Sploder, that website that was like a custom game making thing on a website or whatever. I used to use that back in like 2012 and 2011 maybe, at the earliest. But like if we're talking actual like a game engine game, the first one I made was in 2013 in Game Maker 8.0 Lite. I don't have that anymore. I completely lost those games. I was too stubborn to use two hands with Friday Night Funkin', but eventually I got used to it. My hand coordination is completely off, but I gotten better. Special picture of different scream sound and warning wakes them up. I don't remember. I think they just have their, you know, generic scream sounds whenever that happens. I hope Doomy is definitely one of my best indie horror games I've made. I'm definitely proud of it. I would upload it to itch.io and GameJolt, but it's like a seller, dude. That game fits so well with my Patreon, and you know I wouldn't upload something that does really well from Patreon onto itch.io, because I want to obviously have some sort of incentive for people to subscribe other than Dave.exe. So having an original new game of mine on Patreon is definitely a good thing to have. Is Goo Lagoon an ATC? Obviously, yeah. It's in the finalized version of the game. It's a 7 AM Goo Lagoon. Is there ever gonna be a maid cosmetic? Fucking hell. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I am not adding that into the game, probably. But I'm probably not gonna add it into the game. We'll see. There's gonna be a lot of cosmetics in that game, probably. I plan on doing at least 4 tabs in each cosmetic thing. Actually, I probably will have like 2 or 3 tabs in the faces category, and like 4 or 5, maybe 6 at most in the clothing and hat category. That would be a lot to make. That would be a lot of cosmetics to make. That is gonna be a pain in the ass to program. Patrons, stop hogging all the best Dave games. I know, dude. I know. I apologize, man. Wild support for cosmetics when probably it could happen. Like somebody could probably mod in their own cosmetics and stuff, I'd imagine. Any more Master Dave.exe? Yes, that game will be getting a shit ton. I plan on doing it sort of like chapters sort of deal. Like those 3 maps you see right now is gonna be like chapter 1. I am not gonna do a Dark Deception, by the way. I will not release this game with only 1 or 2 chapters. I'm gonna release this game with all the chapters in the game, but I will split it off into like chapters or whatever, because each chapter would be a sort of beginning cutscene. You play through the levels like multiple times to try and get the tokens or whatever, like the Fork Factory tokens, Winky Wonky tokens, etc. And then once you get all 12, you would do a sort of boss stage thing, which is sort of like a big old dungeon or something like that. I forgot the concept we had in mind for it. And then once you beat that, you would get like a sort of end cutscene, quote unquote, and then would begin the next chapter. And it would be a sort of, you know that game, Bugs Bunny, the Time Machine one, or whatever for the PS1? It's gonna be sort of like that. When you go through the portal, you would see the levels as you rotate through each one, and it would be like in chapters. That sort of deal. But I probably don't really plan on adding any more maps to this early access version. I want to leave it right now as is, as just these 3 maps, and then, you know, the finished product would have all the shit in it. Cat Dave cosmetic. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's already in the game. Any levels in ATC or games you wanted to do but never did? Levels in ATC, there was going to be a junkyard level, I remember, and a hospital level. We never did those because we didn't feel like it worked right. Dude, okay, I want to talk about this at the very end of the stream, but I want to go through these questions first, and then I will talk about it. I will go on a long-ass tangent about old around the clock, with like all the old content that I wanted to do for it, but I'll save that for a little bit later. Is it possible to mod a UE4 game at the moment? Technically, yeah, but it is sort of possible. Give me the Room is criminally underrated. Probably. It probably is criminally underrated. I hope. Any money I would pay to put a maid? No, you don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me to do that. I would probably just add it in myself. I feel bad. I don't want people paying me to add anything in. Am I gonna keep this as a QnA video? I might just upload this whole VOD, honestly, at this point, since it's just turned into like a sort of, you know, QnA podcast thing at the end. Cat Dave is in the game, yeah. Unfortunately. My favorite Fred the Fred game? You know, actually, I haven't really played that many of his games. I've played probably like 2 or 3 of them. Like the clicker one, that one that's like the office floors or whatever, like multiple dungeon sort of floors, that it was like a demo. I think I played also the one that was, you know, obviously Ankle Breaker. I think there was another one I played, I just don't remember. Must have been like 3 or 4 I played. He definitely makes good shit. I still need to play some of his newer ones. Like his remasters, or like the Minecraft and SpongeBob ones. And yeah, dude, I could go on a tangent about Dark Deception, or their sort of like, I guess, method of development. Because I don't blame them at all. I get their position that they're in, and I know what that feels like, especially feeling rushed to release content when people are demanding shit. So I totally don't blame them there. What I don't like is just the whole chapter model. I understand why they're doing it, to keep the game funded. I just don't really like that game dev practice of releasing chapters like an unfinished product. Like Bendy and the Ink Machine is another example of I don't like seeing people release unfinished games in chapters. Like, I just would rather have, or at least I would rather like to see people finish a game first than just release it unfinished. Is the Goo Lagoon version the early access? Actually, the Goo Lagoon was probably one of the last levels I made, so it's definitely not the early access version. The Junkyard level was going to be the one with Plankton? No, actually, it was going to be the one about, like, the whole... It was basically going to be a recreation of that level. Or not that level, just that one episode of SpongeBob with the guard worm, basically. I'm gonna ever remaster any more of my games. I technically remastered Nightmare on Sesame Street, actually. The what did I call it? Revamped edition? I might remaster more games in the future, maybe. Playboy Bunny Dave, please let us not speak of that. Any other levels I planned? Technically no. I think all the levels in the game right now are the ones I always had planned. Hospital and Junkyard are pretty much the only ones that didn't make the cut. Chum Bucket was never planned, by the way. I don't know why people keep thinking that that was a planned level that got scrapped. Chum Bucket was never planned from the start. I didn't want that as a level since 6 games that Chum Bucket already existed. Dream of the Krusty Krab was just made for the sake of being a reference to, you know, Dream of the Krusty Krab, the game that started it all for me. Dave.exe for the PlayStation. Shit, I wish. I post HC builds. Well, I mean, that's different. My Patreon is meant for early access. Like, that's the point. I'm talking, like, releasing an unfinished game on Itch.io and GameJolt. Patreon is just for, you know, supporting me, getting early access, or exclusive games, basically. I got rid of ATC as soon as I could off Patreon because I felt like that was treading on thin ice. Like back in like late 2019 or early 2020, I don't remember when. What was the hospital level going to be about? I never actually planned what it was going to be about. I just remember writing it down in the document and I never ended up making it. Yeah, I wouldn't say Bendy was a bad game. I never actually played it other than Chapter 1, because I wasn't really interested in it. I know it had some flaws, though. Especially the later chapters. I know Chapter 4 was a piece of shit, apparently. How do you get ATC? Just go on my itch.io, click download, and extract it with WinRAR. What do you ever ask? Games be on Linux. I actually tried porting to Linux at one point, like last year, but I couldn't get it to work like properly. I think I need a Linux probably to port it. Same goes for Mac. I can't port to Mac without a Mac. Also, howdy y'all. Let's hop into the stream. This is kind of like the end of the stream because I already played around the clock a bit. It was a mess. It was stuttering like crazy. So I just kind of ended up doing this sort of Q&A podcast thing with the black screen and just the chat there. My apologies. Are you planning on remastering any more games? Probably not. Not at the moment anyway. Yeah, I know what Linux is. I just, I couldn't get it to port over to Linux for some reason, because every time I tried packaging it as a Linux build, it kept fucking up. Sorry. Put some ways on the screen. The thing is, I could put visuals on the screen, but it's gonna stutter like ATC, basically. I could even put on my face cam, it's probably gonna stutter as well, so I'm not even gonna bother. What's Hard the Polygonal Age? Oh, yeah, Hard the Polygonal Age, I was basically trying to remake... Okay, so here's the irony. I was trying to remake an abandoned game called Hunt Hearts of the Gilded Age. It's currently Hunt Showdown, you see it on Steam now. Hunt Hearts of the Gilded Age was going to be like the sort of Left 4 Dead sort of game back in like 2013 or something. It was shown off, or 2014 was shown off at like a game convention or something. It was a good ass game, dude. That game looked so good. It looked so good, but they scrapped it. It was in development hell, and then eventually Hunt Showdown happened. Hunt Showdown's a good game, don't get me wrong, but I would have loved Hunt Hearts of the Gilded Age if they had actually finished that game. I'm so pissed. I'm still pissed about it to this day. Years later, I will never let it go. Also, oh my gosh, you bastards. Ooh-woo. That is the last one I'm gonna do. It's the last ooh-woo I'm gonna do. People keep redeeming that challenge or whatever and keep making me say that. Dare you. Also, Chrome OS. I probably won't ever port to Chrome OS. Let's be real. That's not gonna happen, probably. My apologies. Okay, I don't know. I guess Belchers kind of just swallow them up like a barnacle from Half-Life, and then they clone them that way. Why would you draw another one? How dare you? Glove World. Glove World was by far the hardest to make. I never want to experience that again. I would pity anybody who would have to go through that experience of making Glove World. Have you tried building it for HTML5 before? I probably won't ever experiment with HTML5. Not really because it would be hard. It probably would be, but just because I'm not really interested, I guess. Technically, Karen could have been cloned, because I think Jellians could clone inanimate objects with organic life forms. But I guess they didn't decide to clone Karen just because she's a robot. I don't remember. I don't really know. There wasn't any sort of, reason we wrote for that. Excuse me. I'm glad I can inspire y'all, though, to start game development and stuff. That's cool. Belcher introduction cutscene was scrapped because I was too lazy. That's pretty much the short end of it. I was tired of working on this game. I just scrapped it. I was like, whatever, there's no need for it. Is there any level I could change for the better, what would it be? Not that I could think of off the top of my head. I was kind of happy with most of the levels, I think. And yeah, I know barnacles would technically spit them out, but you know what I mean? Like, the Belchers would just swallow them up and clone them that way. Where would I be if I never started to become a game maker? I probably would have been a banker. Honestly, I would have actually liked to have studied economics more. Probably would have gone to college for that sort of career, but I never did. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't. I don't feel like going to college. It's not worth going in debt for a piece of paper that I'm probably not going to use when I have better options, I guess. Not discouraging people from going to college. That's not something for me personally. It ain't worth it, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm probably gonna try and end, I guess, this quote-unquote Q&A here. But before I do, I just want to go on this tangent before I end the stream about around the clock's old concept, because I never really talked about it too often on Twitter, or maybe like just a brief moment. But before I do that, wait, can you explain why Pearl died? I mean, I guess Pearl died just because Overlord kind of wanted to spite Mr. Krabs. That's the short end of it. Padre had a whole reason behind it. I don't remember what he said, but I know that was something about what he talked about. Was just that after he killed the clone Pearl, and I guess technically Pearl came out of the pod, because after a clone dies, the real person comes out of the pod. The Overlord immediately saw that, cloned her, and then, you know, digested her first to spite Krabs. He's an asshole, basically. Yeah, I probably would upload this as a VOD though. But yeah, about Around the Clock's old build. I was like the whole, you know, I've talked about it a little bit. It was originally gonna be like, it was gonna take place at the diner, and there 4 of them were gonna be circled around the table. It was probably gonna have that jazz music playing from the episode, the Missing Identity. And then, you know, it was gonna be the whole map screen and all that shit I was gonna do for it. The Junkyard Hospital was planned for that version of the game. It was not going to be about Jellians. It was actually going to be like a sort of fog descended on Bikini Bottom and everyone was turning mad, like how you saw in 3M the Krusty Krab, 6am the Krusty Krab, or 6am the Chum Bucket rather. Around the Clock was technically going to be a sequel to those games about the whole, I guess it was going to sort of explain the whole deal about these characters going insane. And, yeah, you were basically go through the levels and that was it. It was actually not even going to have an ending. It was just going to be an arcade game. Just playing through 16 levels, each with their own story about these, you know, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Patrick, SpongeBob, just trying to go through these levels, I guess trying to stop this, I guess, quote-unquote, like, pandemic of whatever was causing everyone to turn insane. It was basically the Crazies, that's all I could say, is basically the movie, where just these people would go insane and sort of kill each other, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna probably end the stream here, though. I appreciate all of you showing up, even though it's kind of a mess of a stream. It was still really cool to see, you know, everyone come along and, you know, enjoy the whole show. So yeah, I'll probably upload this as a VOD onto YouTube or something. Or, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. But yes, thank you all for showing up. It was a good 2-hour stream, and I will see y'all later. Bye.